Mm-mm-mm. Are you ready, babe? Like a pro.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna wait a few minutes because people will have to like follow the link, get on here, get all situated. So
Probably start at about 7:05.
I really wish I had a snack. Because I'm feeling a little snackish. What's everyone having for dinner? I'm curious. We had homemade slow cooked ribs with David's special homemade barbecue sauce yesterday, and I took the rest of that like gravy and carrots and onion that was left over, a little bit of shredded pork, added some pasta sauce, and it's been simmering all day now to become like a pasta sauce kind of thing. So we're gonna do a little spaghetti or fettuccine later tonight after this is over. I'm really looking forward to it because it smells amazing. It kind of feels like ossobuco, but obviously not veal. But yeah, I'm wondering what everyone else is eating tonight. Have you all been cooking a lot more since the self-quarantine / stay at home? I know I have. Well, I always do, but even more. Ooh, our countdown is almost over.
All right.
Whoa. Oh, hi, Uni. My sister's here.
All right, now I'm really nervous.
Oh no, don't be nervous. Oh, hi, puppy. So our dogs have been barking so much since yesterday for no reason. They normally don't bark this much, but they've been like barking at everything, running around the house and just being crazy. So thankfully this evening they've been pretty calm and just kind of chilling and snoozing, but you know, I hope that they stay that way for the duration of this show.
So do I.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for our recorded version that we're doing.
Oh, we're not recording yet?
We are.
Oh, we are. I see. Alright. The time is now 7:02. Oh, hello! Oh, I guess the lag is not too bad because Eunice already heard about the dogs. So I'll probably explain
All right, guys,
this.
we are live on Facebook, so head over to facebook.com/Silent Stream Media and look for our live video feed.
All right, so while he's doing this story, just so you all know, I am going to be controlling the show as Dave's PA today, and I have Facebook and YouTube set up here in front of me on my laptop as well. So if you guys have any questions or comments, I can go in and take a look and answer those throughout the show as well, or at the end of the show when we do our Q&A. But yeah, feel free to leave your comments and your questions there so that I can see them. I don't think we have anybody in our YouTube just yet, because I didn't really promote that one. I wanted to like congregate everyone onto one platform. Oh, I have a third person in here. Who could it be? Drop an emoji down in the comments if you are just joining us now.
Drop emoji.
Emoji. What kind of emoji should I put in? A party emoji. Boom, boom. Okay. Well, Eunice, today's tutorial is about how to start setting up a professional live stream. So basically all of the equipment and software that you need to... Camera? Oh, that you need to set up a live stream. Today will be like an overview of that, and then we're going to do a subsequent episode after today that will run through some more technical nitty-gritty stuff.
All right.
Are you sleepy?
No,
I'm just
I
kidding.
should be drinking coffee instead of tea.
Earl Grey.
You want to go ahead and get into it, or?
Yeah, let's get into it. It is 7:05. We're going to get into it.
All right, guys. Here we go.
Having a gin and tonic. Perfect. So Eunice, if you're drinking a gin and tonic, every time I take a sip of tea, you should.
All right, hey guys, and welcome to How to Stream Like a Pro. In this episode, we're going to break down all of the hardware and software you'll need to set up a professional live streaming environment. So as times are changing, video communication is an invaluable asset to have in your bag, and we're going to make sure that you have all the knowledge to stream like the pros. So again, thanks for being here, and let's jump into the show. All right. I'm David Fahlert, Video Asset Director and owner of Silent Stream Media. We're a video asset agency that produces internal automation and training videos, external marketing, advertising, and product videos, and live streaming event videos for corporations, small businesses, realtors, and community organizations. I've been in marketing, web development, video production, and live streaming for over 16 years now, if you could believe that.
And hi, I'm Jen Fahlert. I am the CMO here at Silent Stream Media, and which means I craft content and communications for our company. It's not working. As well as cultivate relationships and community online with other businesses, business owners, local influencer groups, and others in our industry. I have my finger on the heartbeat of what's going on in our digital community and how business communication and content evolves with change in technology and culture. So today I am Dave's PA. So throughout the show, I will be running all the graphics and going through the segments, and I'll also keep track of you guys's questions and comments, and just keep in mind that we're going to do a Q&A session at the very end of today's video. So as you guys are putting up your comments in the chat log, I'll try to keep track of all of that and get through it either through the segment, or we'll pin it for the Q&A section at the end. So just keep that in mind.
All right, and let's roll into it. So again, thanks for being here, and today we'll be talking about 6 aspects of live video. I'm so sorry. We'll be talking about 6 aspects of live streaming video. So computer requirements, webcam options, types of microphones, types of capture devices, lighting setups, streaming software providers, and things like that. And if you could just hold on for 1 second for us, guys. We're having a little bit of technical problems, of course.
That just means I get to do some more, pour some more tea. And I guess since we're taking a small breather here, Justin, hi. Nice to have you on our show today. Hope you get some great information out of it.
All right, I think we're back. So again, we'll be covering options for novice level streamers, intermediate level streamers, and professional level streamers. All right, so first up, we've got computers. All right, so for entry-level streamers, pretty much any modern computer system is going to work. For these computers, you'll want to run either a built-in webcam or just like your standard USB webcam, and it's going to run fine. So, just your single dual core, 2 to 4 gigs of RAM, smaller hard drive, standard graphics card, and you'll be fine for live streaming. For intermediate systems, you'll be able to run 1080p webcams, 1080p camcorders, and some DSLRs with a little bit of latency and image loss. So you can kind of look at the specs here for a second. You can look at the specs back there for a second. Just kind of check it out if you want to take a screenshot or write anything down. But these, the Intel i5, i7, the AMD Ryzen 3, 4, and 5 are all great processors. And then the Radeon RX 5600 and the GeForce RTX 2070 are great graphics cards, so they'll be able to handle quite a bit of hefty loads there. All right, and then for professional systems, for the more beefy systems, you'll be able to run any camcorders and DSLRs in resolutions between 2K and 4K with minimal latency and image quality loss. And then if you want to take a second to kind of look at the specs I have listed here, write those down, feel free. I've actually done some research on the...
Oh, are we still writing things down?
I've actually done some research on the RTX 2080s and the TI, and they are amazing cards. So those are good cards to look into, but they're definitely a little bit pricey. You're probably looking at, the $1,800 to $2,600 range if you can find one for that. So yeah, but again, that's for professional setup. And then just remember that, you can come back. The more hardware you're running at higher bit rates, the more computer power you're going to need. I mean, that's just how it works. All right. So let's move on to webcams. So Logitech, they make a C920, which is their older model, and then the C922, and I also believe they have a C930 now. I haven't tested the C930. I have tested the C922, and it's an amazing cam. It's a great high-quality beginner's webcam, and I've used these things for years in video conferencing applications, and they actually come with pretty robust software where you can kind of fine tune all of the image settings. And then with, basic 3-point light setup in your room, these things look amazing. I mean, you can rarely tell the difference between these and like a high quality DSLR. And you can't beat them for the price.
So these are basically the little cameras that you put on your computer or like where your desktop is.
Yeah, and I swear Logitech just kind of runs the market on those things. I don't know how they pack that much quality into these like tiny little USB webcams.
If you were to compare it with like a built-in camera on your laptop, like how would you compare those two?
No comparison at all.
No.
No comparison at all. No, they're
Webcam wins.
Yeah, webcam's gonna win every time. Stay away from your built-in when you're live streaming. by all means. All right, so next up we've got the Sony Handycam. This guy right here. Get my finger position right around there somewhere.
You got it. Oh.
I know a lot of people actually that tend to have camcorders laying around, and people actually don't realize that with the right hardware, these camcorders can make amazing live cameras. Whether you have like an old component model or a newer HDMI model. With a capture device and some good quality lighting, camcorders actually really shine for live streaming. Plus, they'll feature all the onboard image settings that you're going to need to dial them in based on your set lighting that you have in your room. And I've had some great experiences with Sony Handycams in the past, so I highly recommend the Handycam. Or just go find your old camcorder laying around and open up the side door on it and see what kind of video outs you have, and you probably got composite or HDMI or S video, which will all work with any kind of capture device. So you'll be in luck. Dust those things off.
Yay!
Last but not least, and my personal favorite, DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. Now, if you're a photographer or videographer, I guarantee you've got one of these laying around. And these guys make stellar live stream cameras. And whether your camera has, an S video out or component or HDMI with a high-end capture device, you'll be able to stream in beautiful 2K and 4K. And these are, again, my personal favorite. We're actually on this exact camera right now, the Panasonic Lumix GH5S. And this is one of my main cameras when I'm out in the field on productions, and then also when I'm live streaming. These things just do it all, and they're packed with some amazing features, including, and I have to mention this for all my tech heads out there that are watching right now, and my video guys, Justin, 10-bit 422 Cinema 4K, which like in a $3,000 handheld camera, is unimaginable. So these make incredible live cameras. And then just a little tip. If you take your DSLR, if you use wireless HDMI transmitters with your DSLR or your mirrorless, you can actually walk around with your camera and capture live streaming video at the same time. So that's a really cool thing to think about too. If you want to kind of capture an event or a seminar or something and you have to move around a lot, just throw in like a Hollytech, I think it is, or Hollyland wireless HDMI transmitter, and you can just have handheld live streaming video.
Yeah.
So.
And then for all of you novice and intermediate level people who are kind of maybe scared of a higher quality high-tech camera like this because you're afraid that it's going to make you look too high def, to that point, like this camera is making us look pretty good right now. Like usually I'm like, I need a lot of beauty lighting and I don't want to look too real in HD, but again, good camera and good software, good hardware just makes you look okay.
Yeah, and again, you can dial in all the settings on these things and then match with the proper lighting and diffusion and all that. I mean, you really, make yourself look good on camera.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so now we've covered cameras. Let's jump into audio.
Yay!
So first off, if you're just starting out and live streaming and you have, say the Logitech that we talked about earlier, these plug and play USB cameras already have pretty good built-in audio, which is going to be fine for, certain applications. And yeah, they like I said, they have really good built-in audio already. And if you're kind of at that level, just stick with that audio. But if you want to beef it up a little bit and get some more quality, the Blue mic is a great mic. It's a tabletop podcast mic, USB mic called the Blue Snowball. You just plug this guy in. It's bus powered from your USB port. You won't have to worry about any phantom power or batteries. You just select it as your audio device in your stream application and you're ready to rock. These tabletop mics, they're awesome. Blue also makes really high-end large diaphragm condenser mics for recording studios, which I used to use when we were miking pianos and things like that, and getting that real crisp acoustic kind of sound. So their products are really great.
Nice.
All right, so next up, my personal favorite, because we're using this microphone right now,
It's
would
up
be
here.
right up there, would be shotgun mics. So, if you're kind of an audio connoisseur like myself, you want to try out maybe a Rode NTG2 shotgun mic. These things register very high and low frequency ranges, and they emit any of that, unwanted background noise. And they're great directional mics, so they're only going to pick up the audio from the subject, and they're not going to pick up a lot of the surrounding noise. And I've used Rhodes and Sennheisers for years, and I really love their products. A little bit pricey. They come at a higher price tag, but again, with technology, with production, with live streaming, music, audio engineering, you get what you pay for. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. And make sure you buy American as much as you can. But these mics obviously should be shock mounted, which you can kind of see right there in the picture.
That's this little red part here.
Yeah, the little red guy there. That's one of the mini Rhodes for cell phone audio when you're doing cell phone vlog type stuff, which they actually make really good quality as well. And so depending on the environmental conditions, you're going to want a pop filter or a wind filter like this fuzzy guy right here. And the other cool thing is they have two power options. So you've got 1.5 volt battery, or they can be phantom powered out of whatever audio interface that might be on set or might be in your studio, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And last one.
Last but not least, this is a fun one, the lapel mic. A lot of people don't think about using these for live streaming, but actually, they're great if you're going to be moving around a lot in your broadcast, or maybe you have
Multiple.
2 or more people, right? And with a lapel mic, you'll be able to capture direct audio right here off of your lapel from each one of the subjects, versus trying to kind of split the audio coming into a shotgun mic. That's a little more directional. So wireless lapel mics, they do take a bit more technical know-how, obviously, to set up and get them running, but they're a great option. And we use them all the time for interviews, and I love lapel mics. They're great. So yeah, anything you want to add to?
I just wanted to say that I think a couple more people have joined the live cast of the live show today. So like I was saying earlier to everybody else at the top of the show, we are going to do a Q&A at the end of the show. So as we're going through all the material, if you have any questions, you can feel free to add them to the chat box here, and I'll keep an eye on that so that we can come back to them at the end of the show. But just so you know, that's there for you. And if you just got on, please put a little emoji in our comments so I can see who's in. All right, on to the next section.
All right. So, how do we get our computers to read our camcorder and DSLR video signals that we've just talked about? And that's through a capture device. So, what is a capture device for you newbies out there? A capture device, which is also referred to as a capture card, is a hardware device that you can connect to your computer, and it's going to convert your video signal from your camera's output into a digital format that your computer can recognize, and therefore turning that into a webcam for the most part. And so one of the older capture devices that I actually still really like, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the Sony Handycam that we talked about earlier, is the Dazzle DVC component capture device right here. If you have an older camcorder that has the composite cables, this thing will pull in and shoot out some really great 720p videos. So, and they're actually really inexpensive. I think, maybe like 60, 70 bucks you can get one of these things.
For less than $100.
Yeah, it's definitely under $100, and I'm sure it's probably a little less now because not a lot of people use component video anymore because of HDMI.
Oh, so it's like
The predecessor.
Before HDMI, it was this guy.
Yeah, and I used to, like I said, I used to use these devices with the Sony Handycams, and they work amazing, and they still work great. So that might be something to check out if you have one of those old camcorders sitting around somewhere.
Oh, good link right there.
Yeah.
Older camera that doesn't have HDMI. Possibly the fix there could be using this Dazzle component capture card.
All right. So next one we'll get into is the Elgato HD60. This guy's new on the market, and Elgato is ranked in the top 5 capture cards right now. And I think that's mainly through gamers. The HD60, it's an HDMI in, USB out device, and I believe it captures 1080p signal on this guy. But the amazing thing is the Camlink 4K, this guy right here. Believe it or not, from what I've read, this card captures 4K video signal, and for such a tiny little USB dongle, that's kind of amazing. I haven't tested them, obviously. I've just read about them, but I've heard a lot of mixed reviews, on the output video quality on these guys, because it just blows my mind that little thing right there would be able to put
4K.
out, like lossless 4K videos. So, go buy one and test it out. I know they're under $100. So, give it a try if you've got a wild hair.
Yeah. And basically, if you guys have followed this far and are still wondering what a capture card is, it's basically a small device that you connect to your software device, which is going to be your computer, and your hardware device, which is your camera.
Connect it from your external camera to your computer.
Yeah, so it helps to keep the integrity of your picture quality, and is just a really great way to make your live streams more smooth and more professional looking.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so the last one.
Last one, and again, no, not that one.
No.
My personal favorite is the Magewell. This is actually the one we're using right now. This guy right here.
Yay.
These guys are beasts. We personally use the Magewell 4K Pro capture cards just because of the build quality, made in the US, and the capture resolutions are 2K to 4K, so you can really get some amazing quality out of these. And if you know a little bit about streaming software and you use vMix, Magewell is actually a preferred vendor for vMix. So, all of their cards are going to sync up with vMix perfectly, and you're not going to have any kind of issues there. And they also have models with multiple IOs and video pass-throughs, which is kind of cool. So let's see if I can do this here. So right here next to the USB out would also be, the HDMI out would also be another HDMI port where you can sync up an external monitor to directly out of the capture card, which is kind of cool for larger productions. So, each one of the capture cards could hypothetically give you that many more reference monitors around the room. So that's kind of a cool thing in Nerdland for me. All right. So final type of capture card that we have, and this is the beast of all beasts, in my opinion, are the Magewell Pro PCI capture cards. These things are going to go directly into your computer's motherboard, and they come with a ton of input options, which is going to be great for running multiple cameras, and also cameras with different video outputs. These things, as you'll see here, this capture card takes SDI and HDMI, which is kind of cool. And these things are extremely reliable, so if you're going all out on your equipment anyway, this thing right here should be in your arsenal, or ours, the one we use. Either two. Magewell is just, they make great products. So, yeah. Anything you want to add?
No, I think I was just asking you earlier about this, how whether computers already come with, whether there are any computers that already come with this card or this capture card installed.
Yeah, no, they're not going to. It's kind of a specialty device, and of course these companies need to make their money too off of their chipsets and their PCI cards and all that. So a PCI capture card is something you're going to have to install after you buy your system.
All right. So, Thank you for answering that question.
Yeah. And then my favorite section.
Lighting.
So, all right, so video lighting, in my opinion, it can make or break a live set. So be creative with it. There's no right or wrong in lighting design. Just make sure you build off the basics of lighting.
Okay.
So we'll go through 3 examples real quick here. So 2-point lighting, key light, fill light, camera in the center, both lights off at a 45-degree angle. This is a great source of lighting. If you have them up high enough, pointed down, you're not going to get too much shadow behind you. And it's something simple. You can use a floor lamp, take the shade off of it. I mean, you don't have to have professional lighting for this to set up a nice live stream room. Use what you got if you got it.
There you go.
These setups can look pretty good.
And we actually have some lighting setup tutorials and hacks on our YouTube as well. So if you have a wild hair and want to go check that out, or if you're new to video for yourself, even if you're a novice, it's worth checking out just to see how that dynamic works and how you can customize that to you in your space.
Yeah. All right, next up, 3-point lighting. So this is going to be your standard, video production lighting setup. Pretty much everything is based off of this setup. You've got your key light. Directly opposite and behind you is going to be your back or your edge light to create that nice glow behind your, this nice glow that you can't see at the moment right behind my shoulder there. And then, a softened fill light just to kind of fill in all the shadow that your key light is casting on that side. And again, you can use any light sources you have at home. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. So 3-point lighting.
Yeah, you just have to experiment a lot with it a lot initially if you're new to lighting, because it does take a lot of practice and know-how to figure out what angles are going to work, what direction you need the light to be going in, so that it can kind of give you the desired effect. So Don't be afraid to practice with it. It's an art that even Dave spends lots of time still studying and figuring out, that every shoot that we go on or every production that we do in-house, we have that optimal lighting.
I'm always playing with light. It's one of my favorite things.
Always.
And then my custom lighting setup here. This is how we have our studio set up right now. I've got 3 Philips Hue bulbs. You can use gels for this, but it's a pain in the butt. So I switched out all my RE 650s and like all the scrims and all the like extra diffusion we had to put over those. I switched all them out for these Philips Hue color changing bulbs, and they actually look amazing.
Yeah.
And we can sit here and change the background colors.
Ooh, yeah,
as we go. So we can pull pink light out here if we want to.
This looks so good.
Kind of do anything like that. So, kind of a live revolving, backlight change at your fingertips. So it's pretty cool. And then we just have one key light coming in pretty much directly in front of us, and then at a high downward angle just to kind of push all those shadows downward so you don't see a lot of shadow on the backdrop there. And yeah, that's kind of what we got going on here. So again, play around with it, have fun with lighting, try not to get too much shadow on your backdrop, and then based on the mood that you're going for in your live stream, front light and side light accordingly, and just have fun with it, because lighting is my favorite.
And again, it probably took us it took you at least like 2 or 3 days to really fiddle around with all the different types of lighting sources that we had in this space to get this whole setup. So, depending on the size of your production, it can take a little bit of modification.
It can for sure. All right. So,
powering through.
Talked about lighting. Let's talk about, after we have all the components that we need to stream like a pro here, the last thing to go live is the streaming software. So instead of streaming directly to a platform, you should always download a streaming software which is going to allow you to build out an entire live show, kind of like we've done here with all the motion graphics and overlays and text and all that fun stuff. Music, intro, outro, bumpers, screen shares, the lower thirds, with your names on it. It adds so much more professionalism to your show.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when you're going DI into, like a CDN, Facebook, Instagram, whatever else, without having that platform as a bridge between it.
So that's basically the main difference in professional looking video when you are going just off your phone, doing a live session like that, versus having an actual software system, having a whole setup. That's where the big difference comes in terms of production value.
Exactly. Yeah, and the other thing is it will keep your audience engaged so much longer, just having all of those cool elements going on. People really kind of crave with live video, interaction, interactive elements, things like that,
it turns it into a show.
Right. Exactly. All right, so first software is Streamlabs OBS. And this is actually the platform we're streaming off of right now. And it's my first time using it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's a free open source platform.
Which is also surprising.
Which is awesome. It's cloud-based. And so it will auto-configure your setup when you log on. And then it's going to save everything in the cloud, wherever and whatever that thing is. The cloud somewhere. Right. But magically, all of your stuff's going to be there when you log in. I don't know how it works, but it's amazing. But because it's open source, it's also packed with a ton of features that developers can add. It's got merchandise store, giveaways, spin wheels, prize elements. It's got live stream analytics, donation jar, ticket sales, and then multi-stream capability, which is hard to find something like that, that runs so smooth and has so many interactive features, but it's free.
Yeah.
free. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, and like Dave was saying, it streams to multi-platforms at the same time. So right now we're running this on Facebook and on YouTube. And they also have lots of other platforms like Twitch and Instagram, I think, as well, that you can broadcast your live stream onto simultaneously.
Exactly. So awesome software. I love it so far. I just moved over to it from vMix just to give it a test, and it's a lot of fun to play with. So check that out if you're looking for something really robust and free. Next software is XSplit. XSplit is a freemium platform, and it offers a free and paid version, and it's heavily focused on the quality of your stream. So for this reason, you're not going to get all the features that Streamlabs would have, but you will have amazing video quality, which is pretty much what you want. And you'll have like some analytics, custom branding, and recording capability. But one thing to note is that XSplit is only available for Windows operating systems. So if you're a Mac user, you're SOL. So think about that. All right. So the next streaming software that I want to talk about, which is one of my personal favorites, and it's what we use usually when we're doing live streaming out in the field, and that's vMix. So you can produce, record, and stream in 4K. It's a great program. And vMix is one of my favorite programs. There's hundreds of built-in features, so you can literally build and customize your show inside the platform. And if you're like into news, sports, or training type stuff, you can preload virtual sets. If you have a green screen, and you run, behind you, you can be in a newsroom, you can be like on the sideline, like it's amazing. And you can also run PowerPoint presentations through it as well. So if you're doing like seminars or training or whatever through your company, PowerPoint's fully integrated.
Super robust.
And get this, vMix can handle up to 1,000 inputs. So imagine, depending on your system size, imagine how many camera angles you could have with 1,000. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine.
Who needs 1,000 cameras? If you're doing a 360 virtual thing, you would need 1,000 cameras, right?
This is true.
Yeah,
Something
so
like that.
That's where this is coming in handy.
Or you're filming The Matrix live or something, But with vMix, this program, it's not cheap, and it runs about $350 for the HD version, $700 for the 4K version, and $1,200 for the Pro version. But that's a one-time purchase, so you never have to pay for anything again. And
Lifetime.
And it never expires. Yeah, it's a lifetime membership. So if you're planning on making a career out of live streaming, this is the way to go. In my opinion.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, Wirecast.
Whoa.
Wirecast. So Wirecast is an award-winning professional live streaming software. It has all the features of vMix, but it also allows video call-ins to your show. So you could add guest speakers via video feed, which is pretty cool. And then they also have like a spin-off version, which is a video conferencing edition, kind of like Zoom, and it's geared towards like corporations. I also believe it's approved by Microsoft, and it can run directly into Microsoft Stream, which is their internal video conferencing platform. So Wirecast is going to be great for capturing seminars and corporate presentations, and kind of all that stuff in the corporate realm there. Cool. So that's going to conclude our first episode of How to Stream Like a Pro.
Yay!
And here's kind of some stuff that we covered today. So we went over computer requirements, types of webcams, types of microphones, types of capture devices, some basic lighting setups, and some cool streaming software providers.
Awesome. So if anyone, again, has any questions, I think we will just go ahead and take those questions through the comments or through the emails. So feel free to add those, and we'll get back to you guys after the show on that.
For sure.
And hope you guys all found some value in today's first live stream for us. We had so much fun
Building this out.
Yeah, building it from the very early stages of just the concept to building the studio, building the show on the platform, and then coming on here to interact with you guys and engage. It's been a super fun experience for us as well.
It has, yeah.
We're looking forward to doing more of these. So please, if you have any other show requests, let us know what you'd like to know about. Like Dave was saying at the top of the show, he's a 16 plus year veteran in video, audio, production, all of that, marketing. So we're going to be doing more of these shows. So if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, so there will be 7 more episodes coming soon where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into each of the hardware and software components that we talked about today, and just which will kind of help you guys a little bit better setting up your environments to get ready to live stream. So, if you guys are serious, about starting live streaming shows or even setting up a studio to pre-record some of your content for your channels, we'd be happy to help you get set up. We offer live stream and pre-recorded services where we'll actually come in, knock out the production for you, and we also offer consulting services. So we're here to help, build out your live streaming or pre-recorded set as well, and we can do that via phone or video chat. So please send us a direct message to the pages that are up on the screen here, and we'll set up a meeting with you. All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next episode. And we'll see you again soon. # Silent Stream Team.
Stream
All
Lab
right.
out.
Stream Lab out.
Bye.
Ciao.